Alright, so how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Savvy Sloth. I'm your man Bobby Z, and today we are going to be reviewing Doom Eternal that just dropped this past weekend. I finished the main campaign on Saturday, pretty much in 2 sittings, Friday night and Saturday. First things first, would like to announce that we will be going back to a numerical system for our gaming reviews. I'll make sure to treat it retroactively and leave the score of every game we have reviewed this past year down in the description of this video. Before we hop into the review, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. The links will also be in the description. So what is Doom Eternal? Maybe you are a total Doom noob. Doom Eternal is the 5th main installment to the Doom series, developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda Softworks, and is a direct sequel to 2016's Doom. The Doom games are known for their violent and heavy metal combat raised in the depths of hell. Rip and tear is literally the slogan, and again you are shredding through these demonic creatures, headbanging to the game's rock-infused soundtrack with Doom Guy. The combat and soundtrack are the trademark of this brand, and Doom Eternal might be the best one yet. In this game, you don't recover chests or generally find armor and ammo and things like that on the ground like you do in most video games. Instead, you have to kill to regain your health, armor, and ammo. You use your chainsaw to gain ammo from enemies, but you need fuel in order to use it. If you need armor to drop, you have to torch your enemies with your flame belch and then inflict damage to them while they are on fire. To power up your blood punch, you have to kill. This game is literally chasing you up the stairs, forcing you to move faster and quicker and faster. If you sit still, you're gonna die. The only way to succeed is to keep moving and keep killing. There is a somewhat intriguing plot to the campaign, hunting down the 3 Hell Priests who work for Khan Maker, but you are really here for the chaotic and diabolical combat that the game presents. After leveling through the campaign, you will have a total of 8 different weapons at your disposal, that also each contain 2 modifications within, really giving you closer to 12 to 14 weapons to pick and choose from. With so many options, it's really hard not to find a fan favorite of your own, from shotguns, snipers, turrets, rockets, plasma rifles, and one badass fucking sword. There has to be something that you like. The devs of this game were very precise and punctual with the weapon designs because not only are they fun to use, but they all serve a purpose. There is a great sample of demons to fight in this game with unique attacks and weaknesses, forcing you to rotate your guns in the midst of all the absolute chaos. For such pandemonium, the combat is still very intricate and rich in detail. A glory kill is the leaping finisher you keep seeing on screen with your blade, and certain buffs will allow you to speed up this attack. But at no point, no matter how fast you were going, the combat never seemed to skip a beat. Jumping in and out was totally seamless. The sound, the detail of the faces being ripped apart, it was all very precise and very consistent. I mean, even after hundreds of glory kills, it was still super satisfying to me to rip and tear a demon's body apart, and that speaks volume to the detail. It never got boring. The combat and action get an A+ for me across the board. It's raw, it's gory, it's anarchy, just pure entertainment in a video game. There is also a good leveling system within your suit and within each gun. Like I mentioned, each gun generally has 2 modifications, and each modification has 2 to 3 upgrades inside. Obtaining all the upgrades for one modification will power up the gun even further and open up a challenge for you to complete with the weapon for the final buff. There are stat and cooldown upgrades to your suit for your frag and ice grenades, your dash, the map. There are daily and weekly challenges, so there are a ton of things to keep you engaged and to immerse you in the experience. The campaign has 5 main bosses, and I very much enjoyed each fight. The second to last boss is the hardest to fight in my opinion, and what I loved about that is the final boss is more of a payoff and an appropriate send-off to finishing the campaign. The fight is more built around having fun, I think, than it is difficult. This is because there are several power-ups laid all over the ground, making cooldowns essentially non-existent for you. You can spam You'll face every demon that you've seen in the game, wave after wave, while simultaneously trying to take down the Icon of Sin's armor. So feel free to unleash your most badass content during this fight, play it over and over, just go apeshit. I loved the final boss fight. Other than that, the Slayer gates and encounters you find along the story are essentially the side missions of the campaign. The gates requiring you to find the key nearby first in order to open the gate. These are tough, but worth completing, and again, just super satisfying to complete on your own. Aside from the carnage, the gameplay has other fun aspects to it. The aerial mobility, leaping around to different buildings from structure to structure, was very polished and a huge advantage in battle. That's one of the funnest parts of the game, is how fast you can move around, jumping around. Like I said before, it's very heavy emphasis on the push forward combat tactic. You want to just keep charging very aggressively. Other than that, there are different collectibles for you to gain climbing and trying to reach them throughout the story. There are some super satisfying puzzles that require quick action to reach certain items, but also to advance in the story, which is always a good bonus for me to have puzzles in the game, and it's a nice change of pace from the non-stop mayhem inside Doom Eternal. So it's not all just raw combat, which is good. But after the campaign, there is also the battle mode you can get into, which is a fun and quick online 2v1 mode. One player gets to compete as the Doomslayer, the other two choose demons to fight as, and you battle to the brink of death with your unique builds to the best of 3. I personally prefer to replay the campaign on a higher difficulty because I enjoy the weapons and the missions that much, but the battle mode is there, and it's also another fun option for the endgame. One thing I forgot to mention is I love the map design. It has a very nostalgic feel to it with the layering and the use of contrasting colors. And last thing to bring up is the cosmetics. You can unlock different armor and weapon skins for your Doomslayer and the demons, which is always a huge bonus for me in video games. You should always be able to customize your character, and it sucks when games don't let you, but that's not the case here in Doom Eternal. Overall, this is one of the best experiences I've had on PC the past few years. Mouse and keyboard were huge for me in this game. Flying around trying to survive and mutilate demons at the same time, I feel like would have been a disaster with a controller. That's just my personal preference, but it was super smooth on the computer. The combat is just so invigorating and so fun and satisfying. I can't say enough about it. I could rave all day and night, but like I said in the beginning, we are going to go back to the numbering system, and I am usually a tough grader, but I'm loving this game so much, I'm going to give Doom Eternal a solid 8.9 rating. This is everything you want in an action-packed FPS. It's a hardcore and fast-paced masterpiece that continuously gets better the more demons you slaughter. It stays true to the heart of the Doom series. This might be my favorite Doom game to date. But as always, love you guys for listening. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us out a lot. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We've been running other video game giveaways on those channels. I'll make sure to leave the links down low. Stay savvy, guys. I'll see you next time.